What is going on, Crimson Tide fans? Chris Dippre here with the Alabama Football Report. Alabama has 9 players that have now been invited to the 2025 NFL Combine, so we're going to talk about that on the front half of today's show. Then we're also going to talk some very far in the future 2027 recruiting on the back half of today's show as well. But first up, if you guys want more NFL draft or NFL Combine coverage, Chat Sports will be going to the NFL Combine coming up here in just a couple of weeks. We'll have a bunch of interviews that we'll post up there. So probably won't be able to do as many of these type of videos while we're out there, but there's a lot of Alabama players that will be at the NFL Combine. So every single time they hit the podium, we will post those videos for you guys. So do not miss out. Hit that sub button for me right now. All right, so like I said, Alabama had 9 players invited to the 2025 NFL Combine. Jalen Milroe, CJ Dippre, Robbie Ouzts, Tyler Booker, Quandarius Robinson, Tim Smith, Jihaad Campbell, Malachi Moore, and also punter James Burnip. Now, one thing of note as well, Graham Nicholson, your kicker this year, and Nealon Hibbett, your long snapper for the past couple of seasons, they will not be going to the NFL Combine. They are eligible for the NFL Draft this year. Whether or not a kicker and a long snapper are going to be drafted, probably not, but they will get their opportunity to work out in front of scouts at Alabama's Pro Day. And look, there was a time where Alabama had the most invites to the NFL Combine. There was a time where they had the most players drafted almost every single year, it seemed like, but that time has kind of passed us at this point. Ohio State has 15 players going to the NFL Combine. Georgia, Texas both have 14. Oregon at 12. Ole Miss at 11. South Carolina at 11 as well. Miami has 10. Alabama tied with Florida with 9 players that have been invited to this year's NFL Combine. So let me know here in the comments section. Predict Jalen Milroe's 40-yard dash time. I would assume he's going to run a 40-yard dash, right? For the past couple of seasons, all we've been hearing about is Jalen Milroe is probably the fastest guy on Alabama's team, which at the end of the day, I do not doubt. But let me know here at the pinned comment of today's video. Predict Jalen Milroe's 40-yard dash time. It's the pinned comment of today's video. So that ad's going to come here on YouTube. That is totally fine. You guys can ignore it. Get down there and let me know what you guys think. Now, Chad Simmons of On3 gave us an update on 2027 quarterback Trent Seaborn out of Thompson High School. Now, a couple of seasons ago, as an 8th grader, he started 10 games for Thompson High School and ended up being the starting quarterback for the 7A state champions. His quarterback's coach was Tua Tagovailoa's dad when they were growing up. Now, because of that, there's a lot of false information out there about whether or not he's related to the Tagovailoas. They are not related. Now, I know a lot of people out there believe that they are cousins, but they are not indeed related. He already, now as a junior, has 30 offers already going into his junior season anyways. He has also visited over half of those schools already that have offered him now. So right now, going into the springtime, he's planning on taking visits to Alabama, Clemson, Florida State, Michigan, Oregon, and South Carolina. It's a possibility that some other schools could kind of end up in there. But, man, just the way this kid has gone about his life, you saw right there the photo with Tua and him when he was only 5 years old. The past 2 seasons, his freshman and sophomore season, starting at a 7A high school in Alabama, winning a state championship as an 8th grader, he's been pretty dang good. I mean, his completion percentage went down a little bit this year. These stats, by the way, are from Max Prep. So, you know, there was a time where Max Preps didn't really have the most accurate stats. I really hope that's kind of changed now, but that's where we're getting these stats here. Look, past 2 seasons, 27 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. This kid really does kind of seem like, quote unquote, that prodigy type of quarterback. I would love for Alabama to get him in their 2027 class because, you know, they've gone after a couple of guys so far, having conversations with them. But, man, Trent Seaborn is one of the best players in that 2027 class. Also want to give a shout out to our friends over at Fanatics. You guys can get up to 50% off on Alabama hoodies right now. They've also got quarter zips, crew necks, everything else like that, just by going to chatsports.com/CFB hoodies. There should be a little clickable link as well over there in the right-hand corner as well that you guys can click on so you guys can get up to 50% off on Alabama hoodies. Now, Trenton Seaborn, like I said, he's in the 2027 class, so there's a long way away before these rankings really start to, take shape here as of right now. Number 94 overall in that 2027 class, the number 9 quarterback. I know kind of going into this, everybody kind of thought he was going to be the number 1 quarterback, number 1 player in that class. But, other things happen. Other guys have phenomenal seasons. Other guys get found as well. But like I said, it's a long way away. Trenton Seaborn very well could be a 5-star prospect once it gets to that time. Now, Gunnar Rivers, another quarterback in this class, out of Fairhope, not Fairhope High School, but down in that area. He is also 1 spot ahead of him, the number 8 quarterback in that 2027 class. Alabama has also shown him a lot of interest as well. So we'll see what guy they really prefer going into that 2027 class. And what I really appreciate about Trenton Seaborn is kind of how he is evaluating this process of being recruited. This is what he told On3 just the other day. He said, I'm not going to go and make a top 6 or a top 12 list or anything like that. At some point, with help from my circle, I will focus my attention more on a few schools. But as much as possible, I want to stay open to different scenarios so that I can find the best option and the best fit for me. That is because when I commit, that's it. I will take no more visits and no more game day trips to any other schools. I'll be all in. So I want to make sure I make the best decision possible before I commit. I really appreciate that take from Trenton Seaborn. There's not a lot of players out there that really kind of take that kind of a route. So let me know here in the comments section, where do you guys think Trent Seaborn is going to play his days in college football? Long way away, like I said, and there's going to be plenty of schools out there that are going to try to get this kid in the 2027 class. But let me know where you guys think Trenton Seaborn will end up committing and playing in college football. Now, we also talked about some of the top priorities that he is looking for in a school. He said culture and competition are the top 2 important factors for me. I want to be in a program where players are held to a high standard and everyone is held accountable. I want to be coached hard, and I want to be around other players who feel the same way. If players sacrifice for one another and have that team first mentality, that is something that I am looking for. I want to play for a program where coaches don't just care about winning, they care about reinforcing good character and values in their players. On the competition side, I want to be in a program that not only plays against the best teams on Saturday, every day in practice, I want to be going up against great competition. Now, I just absolutely love the way this kid goes about things and the way that he thinks about things because, like I said, there's not a lot of kids out there that have that type of mentality when it comes to picking a college to go to after high school. And look, he just comes from an amazing background as well. He had Tua as a mentor to his brother Tua Tagovailoa. Their dad was his quarterback's coach growing up in Hawaii as well before moving to Thompson High School, who also, by the way, has a fantastic coach in Mark Freeman. They've won a lot of state championships there, including the one that he won there as an starting quarterback as an 8th grader. So no matter where he goes, I think he's going to be very successful. But at the end of the day, I do hope that it is with Alabama.